technology to something similar to the size of Hannah City. We are, we've built over the last couple of years, we've built the entire town of Farmington. We're building in Canton still. We built a lot there. We're building in Lewiston, Knoxville, Elmwood, Brimfield, Princeville. We just finished Princeville. Toulon. We're getting ready to go to Wyoming. We're looking at some stuff over towards Dunlap as well. Kickapoo Edwards area. There's a lot of areas, so we're pretty widespread, but we are a local company. So, I've passed around some pricing sheets there. The main highlight is we are an internet company, but we're a little different than most. Excuse me. We don't have a data cap. The price you see is as much usage as you want. We don't have a contract. You sign up, you decide 2 days later you don't like it, you can disconnect. We're obviously going to ask you why, but we're not going to lock you into a contract. The other thing is the price you see there is the price for life. As long as you live in that house, that's the price you're going to get. So we try to do as easy as we can as far as being easy to do business with. Just a little bit about our network. We build redundancy into all of our network. So if we would come to Yates City, we would plow into town and we would plow out of town. What the idea is that one fiber cut cannot take the whole town down. We do that through our entire network so that we have redundant routes into Cicero and Chicago and on South Walnut Street in St. Louis. So the two main hubs for the Midwest, we have direct links into those buildings. So that's why we can do the pricing that we can, because we have the direct links. We don't have to pay all the upbridge fees to transport. Besides that, we are a company we have a website that drives a lot of this. It's called fiberfastnow.com. You can go out and just see. It tells a lot about what we do, about our process, stuff like that. What happens is our engineers, if you guys did say you're interested, what we would do is start with interest, and then you go from there. If people start to fill out the form, doesn't require you, doesn't lock you into anything, just tells us you're interested. We will then what we call move to the fiberhead stage, which means we'll cut the neighborhoods up into sections. We try to go between 150 and 175 homes per what we call fiberhood. So just depending on the size of your town, how many you're going to have. I think Farmington's got 9. Elmwood only had 5. So it just depends on where you're at. Canton has 30 or something. So, and then once you get enough interest in that neighborhood, what we'll do is you'll go to sign up. As soon as you get the sign-ups you need, my board will come to us and say, that neighborhood has hit its number. It's just a business plan. It takes about 35% of your neighborhood to take it for our business plan to work. So just figure, in that 40 to 50 range out of 150 homes, somewhere in there. It's about a third of your neighborhood, somewhere in there, a little bit more than that. But the idea is then we build it. We have I'm sorry, let me back up. So if we were going to do that, if we go to the fiberhood stage, I would come to you, this board, and ask for a franchise agreement. A franchise agreement, essentially, in all small towns like this, gives us access to the utility easements, which would then give us the ability to bury the fiber in town. So it would be franchise agreement, then interest, then sign up, and then we would build it. We have these discussions a lot. We just have to make sure that if the town is interested, if they're being underserved, we want to serve them. That's how we do it. Excuse me, sorry. But for the most part, we're pretty straightforward. We're a small company that is growing, but we also provide speeds that not many other big companies provide, and not the prices they do. And we have the reliability to back it up. You go on the website, you go on the Facebook pages of all the communities that we're in. Most of the time, you're going to see glowing reviews. We take it very seriously. If there is ever an issue, we're there. We have 24/7 tech support. All our guys live in the area. They're on call, a certain amount of them every week, to make sure that if there is an issue, that we will take care of it. Most of it is, to be honest, right now, is people having wireless issues that get through the phone or through a chat. So I don't have a lot else to say. I don't know if, me and Tony have talked, and I did have a call with the mayor and my CEO 2 weeks ago, I think it was. So we just kind of had a preliminary discussion, and it was suggested that I come and, just show you guys the pricing and answer any questions you may have.
And another good thing is they have their own fiber, not on leased fiber where they have to worry about getting into somebody else's pit or having somebody else work on it. They have a break, they can go out and work on it themselves.
Yeah, that's something to consider, because if you lease, we don't lease fiber for this. You don't control it. It's fiber, you lease a piece in it. So if it gets cut somewhere, the odds are that they're leasing. They're not going to lease in and out of town. So you're not going to have the redundancy, the reliability, first of all. And second of all, you don't have a chance to fix the cut. You have to wait on the company that you lease the fiber to do that. So that increases downtime. Our guys are on it. Even if only one side of it's cut, our guys stay until it's fixed. We repair it the same day, no matter what, or night. So yes. Take reliability and customer service very, very serious. That's why we, besides our pricing, obviously, we have been very successful doing this. So.
All right, does anybody have any questions for Aaron?
Would.
I guess my big question is, if we're wanting to move forward, how do we do this? Do you do the advertising and ask people to start signing up? Or how do we do this?
Yes, what we do is we obviously ask for the blessing of the board to start with. We start with, just simple mailers, stuff like that. And then when you go on our website, what we'll do is we could open up the town in a city for interest. You can also see that when you're filling out your form, if you want a sign in your yard, one of our guys will come out and put a sign in your yard that says, hey, are you interested in mid-century? That and the word of mouth drive it from there. Once we get through the interest phase and it starts to pick up, I would then ask to come back to another meeting to ask for a franchise agreement, because we would have to have that before we could actually build something. But I mean, besides the franchise agreement, we would do all the legwork to start with the blessing.
Anyone else have any questions? All right, thank you very much
Say,
for
just, if you don't mind, is just check out the website. Like I said, fiberfastnow.com. There's a lot of information. You can see how other towns have done it and stuff like that. And, Tony's got my number. Fred, or Mr. Mayor, you have my information as well. I encourage any of you to reach out to me if you have questions. And if it does come to this and you guys do want to do it, just let me know, and we'll all get my marketing people to start working on getting addresses and stuff so they can start putting mailers out. Okay.
All right, very good.
Thank you guys. Thank you for your time.
All right, we're going to open it up now to any guests that might have any public input that they'd like to address the board with.
In regards to the mid-century, Fred, or in general?
In general, anything.
Okay, I just wanted to bring something up at this meeting and about adding UTVs along with the golf carts in town.
May I ask who's speaking?
Okay, Mindy Fitch is speaking. She was requesting from the board that we consider adding UTVs along to our golf cart ordinance that we have in place at this time. Any other comments from anyone? I'll just say that when we did pass the golf cart ordinance, it was discussed about whether or not to allow ATVs and UTVs and other types of recreational vehicles to use our city streets. At that time, there was not support on the board for it. I don't know if that has changed, but at the time that we did discuss the golf cart ordinance, there was very lengthy discussions on whether or not to allow ATVs and UTVs along with that ordinance. And at that time, the board decided not to do that. Does anyone on the board have any comments or want to look into changing our ordinance or leaving it as it is?
I think UTVs, if driven, properly, they're a lot easier to see than ATVs.
What is a UTV?
UTV is like a side-by-side, where you actually sit down in it, you're not straddling it like a motorcycle or a four-wheeler. You actually sit in it, it has a steering wheel.
It's a utility. You think
Yeah, like a,
all the time.
they call them a side by side. Yeah, like a
Okay.
side by side.
And most time they come with brake lights and turn signals.
Yeah, well, that's one positive about those is you're sitting in a cab, sometimes with doors,
And
there's
most times
lights. They come with a lot of stuff that the people have to put.
Ours
on.
don't have a fence.
And it's a full roll cage.
Yeah, yeah. Probably standard, they're probably safer than a golf cart is standard because of the roll, they all have cabs in them and stuff, at least the roll cage, a lot of them have seatbelts in them.
Yeah.
Obviously ATVs would be a no, but I'd look at what other towns have done with UTVs, since they're more of a car type vehicle.
They're not licensed though.
Huh?
They're not licensed.
Either a golf cart.
All right, Mindy, it sounds like there are a couple people on the board that would like to look into it, so I will have them look into it and bring us back a recommendation at a later time.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, anyone else have a comment during our public input section? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to our approval of our minutes of our August 4th meeting. Should have that in your packet.
What's a motion to approve on the minute?
Got a motion by Hoopengarner to approve the minutes of our August 4th, 2020 meeting.
Second.
Second by Johnson. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Down to number 5, approval of our treasurer's report. Should have that in your packet. Got a chance to look it over. I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Johnson to approve the treasurer's report, pay all outstanding bills.
Second.
Second by Frixell. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
Garner's yes. Johnson, yes.
Yes.
Steer is yes.
Yes.
Frixell is yes.
Yes.
Gates is yes.
Yes.
Weaver is yes. Motion carried. Under number 6, engineer's report. Our engineer is not with us this evening. He did send in the report on the subsurface exploration and foundation recommendations for the elevated water tower. That report is in your packet. You can read over that. A brief summary is the location that they checked, which is across from the village hall and next to the current water tower. The foundation is able to withstand the weight of putting in a new water tower there. So that's basically a summary. Just an update on the design and permitting. They are moving along with that and should have a report by the end of next month on that. Any questions under the engineer's report?
That was the old water tower. Otherwise, let's take it down.
Yeah.
Well, we put the new one up, it'll look really good. Why do you want it?
So you said that.
Sealed bids?
The
Submitted?
foundation
Just say
is
so.
able to hold the water.
Correct. All right,
Should we
going
go
down to
up
number
there?
7, attorney's report. Do you have anything for us, Pat?
I don't think we have anything notable to comment on. Obviously, we've got the resolution for the COVID emergency powers to extend. We've got one ordinance violation in the courtroom a week from Thursday. And then the truck ordinance, we've got some research in progress on, but we don't have that prepared for you at this time. So happy to address any other questions. Those are the 3 ongoing things we've got that are priorities right now.
What was the third thing you said?
Truck route ordinance. They are working on a truck route ordinance for us so that we can establish the truck route. All right, so got my minutes. What's our resolution number?
2020
2020
0802.
0802. All right, I will entertain a motion to approve resolution number 2020-08-02, a resolution restoring temporary executive powers pursuant to 65 ILCS 5/11-1-6. Motion by Frixell, second by Gates. Any further comments, discussion? We will call it resolution, don't we? Roll call it.
Yes.
Johnson, yes.
Yes.
Steer, yes.
Yes.
Frixell, yes.
Yes.
Gates, yes.
Yeah.
Weaver, yes.
Yes.
Hoopengarner, yes. Motion carried. We are down to committee reports. Finance?
We do have another certificate that is coming due on the 25th. It is our water deposit escrow account. It's currently in a 39-month. I did check with Morton Community Bank, and they do have another special of 39 months. So I'd just like approval to renew that at the best rate on the 25th.
All right, and how much is that one for?
It is for $10,783.01.
That is
It's our
our
water escrow.
escrow account. All right.
So it's not like we can do anything with it again.
Right. It's a CD that we have for our escrow, an amount of $10,000. I'll entertain a motion to allow the finance committee to find the best possible rate and renewal for that CD.
So moved.
Motion by Johnson,
Second.
second by Frixell. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
Steer, yes.
Yes.
Frixell, yes.
Yes.
Gates, yes.
Yes.
Weaver, yes.
Yes.
Hoopengarner, yes.
Yes.
Johnson, yes. Motion carried. Anything else?
That's all I have.
All right, sewer, Gates.
The only update I have is on the refurbishing filter beds. Went out there this afternoon. He was working on the last one. He said if everything goes good, it'll be done tomorrow. We're having trouble with turtles in the third lagoon eating fish.
Oh, no.
So he's going to use well, it's smaller than the other ones, so easier to catch, I guess. So he's gonna use a chemical on it. They've got a chemical they've been using in lakes that doesn't harm the fish. Said the guys were out mowing the other day, and they actually saw the fish in the other lagoons coming up and eating the algae. So we've got more coming in October.
Oh, wow.
Everything's going pretty good. They've really taken out some nasty sludge from, and he said the one that's finished is draining really fast.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll take care of the problem until the rest of us here on this board die, so we won't have to do it again.
Speak for yourself.
No, it should last a long time is what I'm saying.
It sounds like you just threatened to kill us.
All right, streets and alleys.
The turn lanes there on Second Street, did you say something last week?
No.
That I had gotten a quote from Fair for $2,800 to do the blacktop
For
the
the intersection of Hannah and Second.
Second.
The intersection of Hannah and Second, we talked about widening that intersection to make it easier for the semis to turn there, since we're routing them down Hannah Street instead of allowing them to drive straight through on Second. And now they have to make that turn, so we're looking at widening that. And our guys will be able to core it out and get it prepared.
It's locked out.
And then we've got a bid of $2,800 to do the blacktop on top of that. I'll entertain a motion to approve that so that we can begin working on that.
Second.
Motion by Weaver, second by Fritzell. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
Fritzell, yes.
Yes.
Gates, yes.
Yes.
Weaver, yes.
Yes.
Hoopengarner, yes.
Yes.
Johnson, yes.
There, yes.
Steer, yes. Motion carried.
There's something here on.
Discussion of making,
First Street a dead end.
right. A few meetings ago, we were talking about ways to alleviate or limit the amount of traffic on our local residential streets, with the business corridor getting busier and more traffic coming on the business corridor. Couple ideas were to put making them one ways. Some ideas were to making them dead ends so that vehicles can't drive all the way through, which would limit the amount of traffic. I was asked to put on a discussion of the possibility of making First Street one way.
First Street or Second?
First Street.
So it's First Street at dead end.
And I will open it up for discussion on that. I think, Mr. Gully, you had some ideas?
So some things have came to light. The other side of that end cap we have purchased. So we are going to next spring, take that house down in that yellow building there and create another business there. So with that being said, now that whole thing's a commercial corridor. We block off First Street. Everybody that lives on First Street that lives on Second is serviced off of Second. Okay, everybody on the other side has a driveway back to the alley except for two houses. One of them is Mindy's mom's house. And it's just a matter of putting her garbage over the fence. Mindy said she'd even take care of that. So everybody seems to be on board of creating a dead end on that street. The only thing left you've got is snowplow. We really want to get crazy. You can create a turnaround there because you do have the recommended, what is it, 60 feet?
I don't know what's recommended, but there's a 60-foot right of way there.
There's a 60-foot right of way there that could be a turnaround if need be. So with that being said, you're creating a whole lot of parking out on the highway. You're eliminating the traffic from going down there. The business that we're going to create on the other side is going to create hopefully the same amount of traffic that's going to be coming through, to be honest with you. And they'll both exit out onto First Street and come out to the 116.
Anyone have any questions or comments?
So I'm lost. Where's the dead end gonna be? At First and where?
On First Street, right at the back edge of the property.
What's there now?
So the property they bought where the coffee cans go in,
Yeah.
and then on the other side of First Street, where their south property line is at, would be as far
Okay, I
north
got
as
you.
First Street.
Because I'm thinking First
Yeah.
Street and Hannah. So that's
Oh,
not what
no,
you're
no,
talking
no,
about.
we're
You're
up
talking
on
about
one
down here.
sixteen.
Okay,
So the yellow building that's there in that house, we've purchased.
right.
We've closed on that, got them leased out for a year, but then we'll tear them down and put another business right there. Both of those back properties line up right there. Right down in the line.
So First Street would stop at their south property line.
Yeah, so there would really be, their First Street, anybody that's on there is serviced on that back alley. And then everybody on Second Street over here, the only one that has a driveway is Jennings. And I don't know if they put their trash out back there, or if they put it up on Second Street, but it shouldn't be a problem to throw that up on Second Street. So now you've eliminated your
Right.
the flies follow.
I'm assuming you'd want to vacate
The
that.
trash truck, you've eliminated that to come have down and turn around, because they're going down the alley and they're going down Second Street.
Assuming you'd want to vacate that section of First Street that just being closed off. That way you can go between them, make it all one big piece of property and go between them.
That is correct.
All right, is there anyone else that has comments on that possibility?
Jennings puts their trash out on Second Street, just FYI.
Okay, so there you go, that's not a problem there.
Anybody that lives on First Street have any comments? I don't think we have anybody that lives on First Street that's on tonight.
I'm the house, sorry, this is Mindy. The house that I have on First Street, I have already discussed with Ron. We put our garbage out front right now, but we'll take care of it. It's not anything that needs to be thrown against his idea. But everybody else puts their garbage out back on First Street.
You do have access to that alley between Main and First. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Anybody else have any comments or questions or concerns? All right, we will take it under advisement, have our street committee look into that and give us a recommendation. Anything else under streets and alleys?
We got word back from Farnsworth that IDOT has approved our MFT program for last year. Well, I mean, I don't mean that the way it sounds.
Yeah.
We had to send in a thing afterwards after we've done it, and they have said it was good.
It took a year.
No, it's after they have to verify things. They approve it ahead of time, but then they have to come back and certify that we did okay. That we didn't spend something we shouldn't have, or.
All right, police and planning.
Between 8:02 and 8:15, 25 incident reports. And it looks like I'm not sure what the inducement resolutions are.
All right, they should be in your packets there. There are 2 inducement resolutions. Basically, as you recall, inducement resolutions are non-binding for the village or for the businesses that are seeking them. They are basically an opportunity that if the village does establish a TIF district, then prior to the establishment of the TIF district, they can start documenting their costs and request partial reimbursement of expenses through the TIF district on projects that they started prior to us passing our resolution to form a TIF district. We've done 2 of these, I believe, in the past. One is for the property on the corner of First and Farmington Road, and the other one is the first inducement resolution, number 2020-08-03. Is brought to you by the Hannah City Coffee Can LLC. They have purchased, are in the process of purchasing the properties at the corner of First and Farmington Road, and also at the intersection of Farmington Road and the alley between Main and First. Used to be the Meister property. Those two properties they would like to put under an inducement resolution. I will entertain a motion for such resolution number 2020-08-03.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Hoopengarner, second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Again, like I said, this is non-binding. This is just gives them an opportunity to start documenting their costs in case all of this goes through and they decide to develop the property with the business. Any questions? Mr. Gully?
What about that third property?
That's coming later.
Okay.
Hearing none, no further discussion, roll call. Kate?
Yes.
Gates is a yes.
Yes.
Weaver, yes.
Yes.
Hoopengarner, yes.
Yes.
Johnson, yes.
Yes.
Seer, yes.
Yes.
Brixell, yes. Motion carried. Second inducement resolution is resolution number 2020-08-04. It is an inducement resolution in reference to the property on the east side of the alley between Main and First Street. It is surrounded by bus turks. It's that two-story house there right on the alley. This resolution is coming from Joe and Tricia Buskirk in reference to wanting to expand their business. Anyone have any questions? Same deal. It's a resolution that does not bind us. This is just a way for them to, if they want to start documenting expenses, in case there are TIF funds available in the future.
Motion approved.
We got a motion to approve resolution number 2020-08-04 by Brixell, a second by Weaver. Any further discussion? Roll call. Weaver?
Yes.
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 Hoopengarner, yes.
Yes.
Johnson, yes.
Yes.
Steer, yes.
Yes.
Brixell, yes.
Yes.
Gates, yes. Motion carries.
And third item looks like discussion of possible development along Farmington Road. Is that what we just got done discussing?
Yeah, basically that's, I don't know if Mr. Gully wants to elaborate any more on plans for that business corridor, but
As far as what the businesses are, or as far as
it's up to you, whatever you want.
anything about it?
Yeah.
Preliminary, we obviously have, everybody knows what the coffee can is, built out of shipping containers and on the coffee can, where possibly what we want to do across that street there is build another facility out of shipping containers and call it the beer can. I mean, we would serve actually your light beers and normal beers that everybody drinks, but want to make a craft brewery out of it. So that is our preliminary plans with that right now. Trish is going to expand over with a floral shop, I think. We're talking to her about if she would build hers out of containers over there. So we're kind of got a theme going through there so that people might start asking in town if you ever been out to Kansas City and seen all the businesses in them shipping containers. So kind of a cool little thing we're trying to do.
As far as dead ending the First Street, and vacating that into First Street, it's nothing jumped out at me as being, like a killer for it, but it just, there'd be a ton of moving parts, there'd be more moving parts than the previous TIF agreement, because there'd be improvements that would need to be made to first, maybe, widening pavement at the end of it or something, logistics of, you still have the possibility of emergency vehicles, but we should probably come at it as a viewpoint of, they don't want to invest in going forward with that. If we're not even willing to do that to the end of First Street, and we don't want to preemptively close the end of it and do the stuff if that never happens, so our end of it would probably be if we were willing to do it, approval with contingencies, if you get to the point you can turn in a set of plans that can get a building permit, we would reciprocate and agree to the dead end and vacating that portion of First Street to make your part happen. Because, obviously they're not going to move forward with anything unless the board, would be willing to do it in the future. And, we wouldn't want to close it off and vacate that end of it, and create a turnaround or some bypass or something if that never happened for no reason. So, discussion going forward, that's the way I kind of pictured it'd be some sort of, just like, if the board's with it, we would do it. If you got to the point that you submitted, satisfied us with traffic and, plans and everything, so.
I think that'll be up to the street committee to kind of bring that recommendation to the board for discussion.
Yeah.
All right, moving on, water.
We approved 5 checks out of the water escrow account in the amount of $375.
Three?
$375.
No, 3 checks.
5.
5 checks for 375. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Leak detection, I haven't heard any more back from Jim on it.
The only thing, update on the leak detection is he has completed his work. We're just waiting for the final report on what he found, but just a verbal as there was no major leaks that were located.
Update on timeline of hiring a water clerk. Got with Lori last week in Myrna. We got the notices sent out. It's posted on the website. Applications will go through Saturday. And then the following week, the week of the 24th, I've already talked to the water committee and Lori to see about having pick our best candidates that we think can qualify for the position, be a good job, and have some interviews the week of the 24th, and then hopefully have a person to bring back to the board on September 1st board meeting.
All right, anything else on the water?
That is all I have. If I look into the UTV ordinance, is that something you want me to get with, just get with you, or do you want me to get with Phil's office?
Why don't you bring some of your thoughts for the board to discuss, and then we'll decide whether or not we want to move forward with an actual ordinance on the UTV, or the possibility of adding the UTV to our golf cart ordinance.
Which committee was that for the golf carts?
That would be Fritzell and Johnson, who are going to be looking into that. And the water department's looking into the hiring of a part-time clerk, water clerk. And the street department's looking into possibility of closing First Street or making it a dead end, and the steps that would need to be taken there.
And you know who's on your streets committee? It's Caleb and Bill. And your water is Gates and Caleb. You got that?
All right, buildings and grounds.
Nothing.
Do you know, did we have much activity on cleanup day? Is there any way of finding out?
I didn't see too much activity around town, when I drove around town, I didn't see too much stuff, you know.
I didn't either. I mean, I saw them go by and I didn't see them make any stops, so I was just curious.
Yeah, I think they were here less than an hour. It didn't take them long to get through everything.
So the junk dealer comes in first and just
Yeah.
They take all the good stuff. All right, other business. I've got no further updates on our COVID-19 response. As you all know, you listen to the news. Things are going up again a little bit. But so far, the governor has not placed any new restrictions on us. There's no update on the coffee can project, except that the site plans have been presented to IDOT for their approval, and we're waiting for them to move forward on that. Next step on the BDD boundaries and TIF boundaries and establishing those. There is a meeting on August 26th at 11 o'clock, meeting with the other TIF entity, the other taxing bodies. It is a TIF joint review board that will be meeting at 11 o'clock on Wednesday, August 26th. The fire department has requested a meeting prior to that to speak with a representative from the village council in reference to establishing this TIF joint review board. That meeting has been set up for Thursday, August 20th at 6:30 p.m. I would like at least one other person to join me with that. I don't know if anyone is available on Thursday, August 20th at 6:30 to meet with me at the firehouse and discuss the TIF with the Fire Protection District.
What day was that again, Brian?
Wednesday, I'm sorry, Thursday, August 20th,
I'm free.
6:30.
I feel comfortable talking about it too.
Okay. Very good. I'll get you some more information on that, and we'll meet with them. Like I said, then the other next date is August 26th is the TIF Joint Review Board. And then
Where's that at?
it will be here. And then our next meeting, September 1st, we will be reviewing the ordinance, voting on the ordinance for the DDD that time.
The August 26th, that's every levy
Right.
meets. Yeah,
They will all be receiving a letter in the mail along with the TIF plan. So they will have a chance to review it prior to the meeting on the 26th. All right. Any taxing district, the school, the county, the township, the library board, the fire department, the park district. I think that's it. Patrick, you gave us an update on the violation letters sent. You got a court hearing set up sometime?
Yeah, that'll be next Thursday. That'll be a motion for default judgment. And default is when they don't show up. Okay. Since we've already had one date pass where they didn't show. And then the court likes us to actually show our face before they enter an order that says we're taking someone's money without ever talking to them. So we go in Thursday, a week from Thursday.
All right, the only other update I have on the violations, you'll notice that the property there, that we, were working on to get cleaned up, has been cleaned up there on Farmington Road and the alley, between Main and First. That property has been cleaned up. We're still working on a couple other, violations, that have been brought to our attention. A car over on Third Street, a boat on Runkle, and not sure what else. There's 2 or 3 others that we are working on.
You skipped an important one.
I'll get there.
Can we get the people to drive Chevys and stop driving past my place?
There will be a public hearing on the TIF district is set for September 22nd at 6 p.m. That will be held here. Our next board meeting will be September 1st, 2020. We had one thing kind of fall through the cracks that we need to discuss, and I just found out about it today, but it was our agreement with PCAPS, Peoria County Animal Protection Services. Our contract with them has expired. We need to renew it. You should have in your packets a copy of that contract. We will put it on the agenda to pass that agreement at our next meeting, but it actually expired back in April, so we'll need to get that renewed with them.
Well, we did talk to them.
Who?
PCAPS. We talked about them. She was supposed to check and find out if it had started and let us know.
Yeah, almost thought they said something about,
But she
just
said they were
continue
so
on.
far behind with their COVID, just to keep doing it until we heard from them.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Right.
They would still provide service underneath the previous one until they got
So
around to
we
it.
really didn't.
Okay, well, anyway, they contacted us today and said, hey, did we ever sign the agreement? And I said, we never got one. Send me the agreement. So they sent me the agreement today. I put it in your packets for you guys to review. We will vote on it at our next meeting. Only other thing that, well, a couple more things. As you know, Brian has started, our new city administrator started yesterday. It's going to take him a little while to get up to speed, but he will be meeting with each and every one of you. He's already got several meetings scheduled for this week and next, so be patient with him as he tries to learn the ropes and figure out what's going on. One of the things that I forgot to put on the agenda was a purchase of a laptop computer for him. So I'll be working with Tony to figure out the best type of computer to get. I thought what we would do is make sure that we get one that will be able to do these meetings, since I am not going to be mayor any longer. I'm taking my stuff with me, so you guys are gonna have to figure out some way else to do these Zoom meetings and that. So I figured, along with the computer that we get for the administrator, we'll make sure that it has the capability of doing the Zoom meetings and things like that on it. I like you guys, but I'm not gonna give you my computer. The final thing I've got for us is an update on the Rails to Trails. Things are moving forward. I have met with Peoria County twice, and at their full board meeting, they did unanimously approve the intergovernmental agreement and their share of the trail. Met with Farmington City Council twice, and at their meeting last night, they too approved the intergovernmental agreement, the Rails to Trails. So that's 3 out of the 4 entities. I have met once with the Fulton County Board, and I will be meeting with them again in their meeting in September. And I hope that they too will agree to the intergovernmental agreement. But the petition that we started August 3rd has over 1,900 signatures on it already. And if you notice, there's been several articles, one in the Journal Star, one in the Peoria Magazine. There's another one coming out later this week in, I think it's called the Community Word. There's an interview done on WCBU radio, one done on WHLI. So the word is getting out there. There seems to be an awful lot of positive feedback on the trail. So hopefully, if the RTP grant comes through in October, we will be able to move forward and finally get this purchased, a thing that we've been working on since the late 80s. So,
Yeah.
Thank
So-
you for all the work.
yes.
Yeah, that's great news, actually. So who would be policing that? When this goes through, who polices it?
When this
Well,
goes
right
through,
now it's being run, obviously, and I'm guilty of it, running four-wheelers on the trail.
Yeah.
So when this becomes rails and trails, that's gonna stop.
correct.
So who polices that?
It will be policed basically by the county sheriff, because then we will set up signs keeping motorized vehicles off. We will set up ballasts so that they can't get on at a street and run through there. A lot of the maintenance will be done by volunteers. There have been several organizations that have offered assistance in helping to clear the trail and get it ready for use.
The state DNR grant comes through, then LWCF has been signed, passed Senate and the House, and Trump signed it, so that's fully funded every single year. That would be the exact type of project that you can apply for a grant through it for too, because it will have its full $900 million funding every year, guaranteed year after year, so.
Right. Yeah. So there are other grants out there. There's also some private entities that are considering partnering with us also, so.
So if you were using a swag meter, how soon would that, huh? Swag?
Wild
A
guess.
scientific wild ass guess.
Okay.
When would you be blacktopping?
Who
That's
knows?
beyond the swag.
Yeah, I get it.
That's beyond that.
I mean, I don't look for us to even be able to purchase it before April. And then at that time, a lot of things will have to fall into place before we actually get to the place where we'll do any further maintenance.
I mean, years, 5, 10, no idea.
No idea. It all depends on how much support is out there, how much grant money we can get, and how much private donations we can get. I would imagine that the first places that would receive a hard surface would be in our residential areas, running through our communities.
Sure.
All right, is there anything else that needs to come before the council?
Have we done anything on your dates?
Yes. Anything else? Any questions, concerns? Anything from the public? Last chance for comments. All right, meeting adjourned.